I bought $150 worth of sunscreen for the body, so you don't have to, because I get asked all the time as a skincare consultant, what is a safe product I can use for my kids? This is always, these questions start coming in always June or July, and right in prime time UVB exposure. Remember, UVB is the burn rays, how we get a burn. So I just want to go through some options for you. We don't have a body sunscreen yet. We obviously have our tinted face sunscreen, which is amazing. I can talk more about that, but again, I don't want to go through and say like, this is good, this is bad. I just want to show you some textures, give you my reviews. I've tested over the years, I don't know, 50 to 100 sunscreens, maybe not 100, but like I've tested and tried a lot of product, and I try and go and use the product too before buying it, but I needed to buy some to show you guys some textures and give you some education. So I will give you my favorite recommendation at the end, the one I really, really like, and bonus, it's Canadian, so we love that. So starting off with, again, because every mom is like, what can I just use that's going to prevent my child from getting a burn, and what is not full of nasty chemicals? So I want to start with, maybe we start with something like a convenience option, which is a spray. So the only thing is, I understand these are very convenient, but when it comes to spray on sunscreens, that mist is floating in the air, obviously, and spraying from a can has like that airborne risk of inhalation of the product. So as long as maybe you're holding your breath, your child's holding your breath, I mean, I don't really see I understand the convenience, but I want to make sure I'm making contact with the skin, and I'm going to have to rub it in anyways. So it's not like I'm just spraying it and that's it and they're gone. So for me, and also because we care so much about the planet here at Glow Jar Beauty, is how this spray is actually, like, this is, it's using like propellants. So butane and propane to disperse the product. Like, we need to think about that, right? And then how this actually can get recycled properly is not easy. So this is hard on the environment, potential inhalation concern, and that's a big one for me, especially with one of my children who has some respiratory stuff. I'm not going to be using this. I understand it's convenient, but at the same time, you are still going to work it in. So why not just skip this, in my opinion? Actually, looking at the ingredients too, after I saw there's grapefruit peel oil, and we can talk about that at the end, but citrus oils like grapefruit, lime, lemon, bergamot, those actually are phototoxic. So if you can look at those in your skincare ingredients, especially around time like the summer, which can make your skin more sensitive to the sun. So, and they're in a lot of products, and this isn't to cause fear, but it's to raise awareness around these ingredients, and why they're adding, it can cause reactions. So you can see pigmentation, burns, and from that sun exposure with ingredients that are phototoxic. So look for, again, bergamot oil, lime oil, lemon oil, grapefruit, any kind of citrus oil. And again, if you do see it, and you can reach out to the brand and ask if there was like, that ingredient or essential oil was steam distilled, that it's less phototoxic than like a cold pressed oil. So I would just ask the question, or avoid it altogether if you're worried about allergens like myself. So for me, no on that. I understand it's convenient. And then powders. Maybe we go for the powders. So this is SPF 30, and it's a broad spectrum mineral SPF powder. If you go to our Instagram, glowjar_, you'll see me using a UV light and showing the difference in terms of protection and coverage using a powder versus like a mineral zinc formulation. You're not going to get the protection from a powder, the proper coverage. to create that film to, again, block that UVA, UVB rays. So for a powder, it's not reliable, but I mean, it is an option. It's one of those in the category of like something is better than nothing category, I would say, or an option for somebody who's just looking to top up over makeup. So I wouldn't really bother with that. And then I tried this lip sunscreen actually, and I thought it was really good. This is Blue Lizard. So it's an Australian brand, and it's 10% zinc. And I'm just gonna show you because it didn't leave like a bad white cast. Let me pull it up to show you. See? It's like very minimal. It smells like there's some fragrance in there, but it's literally the only one at the store I was at. So I just grabbed it, and I like that it said mineral. Do not, in my opinion, I would never be using a lip product with the organic chemical filters like avobenzone, octinoxate, homosalate. I wouldn't be putting that near my mouth. You're licking, you're drinking, you're eating, your finger, like all that stuff. I would not recommend ingesting those ingredients, especially when they come into concern, or they are under concern around safety and hormone disruption. So make sure it says mineral. Okay, so that's the lip. And then, okay, so sunscreen sticks. So here's two different sticks. This is CeraVe's zinc, and this is another mineral zinc. This is a 20%. This one has titanium dioxide. So I will show you. These are, again, convenient, but the texture for me are a little too waxy. But again, if it works for you, it's better for me in terms of like using a spray if this is what like you want to put in your kids' camp bag. But if they're prone to acne or congestion, there's normally some heavy butters or waxes in there and can cause, you just want to make sure you're properly cleansing at night. So that was the CeraVe Invisible Zinc, which was pretty good. It's just, yeah, it's just like heavier, but there's no crazy white cast. So let's go there for the, so this one has more of a white cast for sure. And I got the baby formula. If you ever choose a baby formula for any cosmetics, it means most of the time it means that there's no added fragrance or allergens. So I always go with the baby products. Definitely heavier. Well, it blends pretty good. It's not bad. My skin always goes red when I'm, it just stimulates. It gets, whenever I stimulate it just by like that, it just goes red. So I don't know, it feels, yeah, it feels fine. So I like both of those. I would say that's just a little bit more of a white cast. So again, when it comes to a stick, if you're wanting to avoid, I would always go with a mineral, obviously looking for that non-nano zinc on the back, which it will say. This one's a zinc oxide. Can't really see that well, but a baby formula if you want to ensure you're not using added fragrances. And again, maybe avoiding like the heavy waxes or like coconut oil. Again, those are just really known for pore clogging, but with this stick, they need it to hold its structure. So again, if you're somebody more oily acne prone, maybe you skip that and you go with more of a, like a lighter consistency. So, and again, these are all body other than the stick. I mean, the stick you can obviously use on the body as well. What did I write down here? So these sunscreens, so I'm not trying not to show you guys brands, but this one here, the back, it has avobenzone, homosalate, octinoxate, octocrylene, and on the front it says it says oxybenzone and octinoxate free. So the thing is that Last year, nobody was saying that. This year, they've reformulated and taken those ingredients out. So in my opinion, as a skincare brand owner, I love data. You got to follow the data, and you have to stay on top of where there's more research, there's more information, and we learn and we have to make changes and we grow. I want to stay away from products that have been flagged for, causing hormone disruption, toxicity, and being called into question. Like avobenzone, homosalate, octinoxate, all of these ingredients that are, again, under review, just like oxybenzone was being monitored and octinoxate, then they were getting pulled off of the shelves for safety concerns, obviously. So I, as a brand owner and work closely with our Canadian labs, I want to stay away from those ingredients altogether before they get flagged and people start having to reformulate. I want to make sure we're thinking more preventative and long-term, not to instill fear, but just to take in the information and make an educated decision. So for me, if I know something's under review for potential hormone disruption, potential health concerns, I don't want that on my skin or my kid's skin. So it's a no for me every time. And then these ones, so more mineral sunscreens. And so this one here, let me show you what this one looks and feels like. Again, this is the Blue Lizard. This is an Australian brand. So I'll just tell you how it feels. Again, okay, that one's a little heavy. And it's the kids formula. There was a baby formula too. I just wanted to try this one for comparison. And I don't think I saw any added fragrance. So it just takes a little bit of working in, but no real white cast. And then we have the Think Kids. So there's all different levels of this brand too, a Canadian brand. So of course I had to grab it. We have Think Sport as well at home. But again, you just have to, this is the one we go for a lot of the times. And it's a little bit heavier for sure. I guess I should have used a different hand. Again, this stuff just takes a little bit more to work itself in, but once it works in, it's in there and there's no white cast, right? So that is an SPF 50. And if you don't know what SPF means, so sun protection factor, doesn't mean you get to stay out, like SPF 30 doesn't mean you get to stay out for 30 minutes or 50 minutes, but you can stay out, if you wear a sunscreen, you can stay out 30 times longer, again, before you would burn, more likely. So reapplication is obviously really important when you're in prime, UV exposure and you're sweating or you're swimming, you do need to apply every 2 hours. So you know what? I think I'm just gonna go with this one. I feel like that's a really good one. And then I have this one. So as an option and an alternative to something like this continuous spray, again, the packaging, not great for the environment. And then there's some potential health concerns. This is Green Beaver's 27% mineral SPF, which we love, zinc oxide. So always just give it a little shake. So easy to spray. And look at that. So easy to work in. That's the winner for me. Okay. So SPF 27. So you want to make sure you're reapplying. No fragrance. These two, yeah, I would say a little titch heavier, but again, both feel really great. I would say those two are the winners for me. And again, it's about having that conversation with maybe your kids or your teen or your spouse or partner about why we're actually using these products like the sun, and how the most important thing is just using the products and using, I believe, a mineral sunscreen, because it's going to support your health, skin health long term. It sits on the skin. There's no potential concern for it getting absorbed into your bloodstream or affecting your health any which way. So that's why we formulated, again, a non-nano zinc tinted, no added fragrance, no allergens. So again, that you could use it around the eyes. And so there's some really great options if you're looking for a body sunscreen. Another big tip is don't use your sunscreen that you had from last summer, that I know you're pulling out of that beach bag because you're just pulling all that stuff out to use this season. Oftentimes that product has been left out on the beach, left out in a hot car or the hot sun, and that does break down the formulation over time, and that means it will just reduce the effectiveness or the protection that you're going to get. So trust me when I say, like, I want you to use up your product. And again, if you didn't use up your product, then I would purchase a new one for that season. And if it's for the face, this, remember, is a year-round product. So our bodies are covered up most of the, well, here in Victoria and Canada, we are pretty much covered up, I don't know, 8 months out of the year, but outside of, so our skin, our face, our neck, our chests are often more exposed, and our lips. So you want to protect your skin because again, those UVA rays, the A is for aging rays, are present all year round. And those are the rays that actually go deeper into the skin because the UVB rays impact the top layer of the skin. That's why you see that red burn. And the UVA rays actually reach the dermis, which is where your collagen and elastin is, and basically just snaps the collagen and elastin like a little Pac-Man. And that's where you see accelerated aging, like sagging, wrinkles, pigmentation, because your skin also has a threshold and it can only take so much UV and only can protect you so much. And then you think overnight you get this brown spot, but it has been cumulative, prolonged sun exposure, and your skin can only take so much. So a great preventative measure, obviously, other than, you know, avoiding kind of peak times to be in direct sunlight between like 11 and 2, wearing a hat, UPF clothing is an option. You can still enjoy, you know, summer in the shade as well. Like, we don't want to not get out there and be in the sun. It's very important. But the skin on our face, neck, and chest are different, are more delicate, and you want to support it with a preventative product like our tinted SPF 30. So give it a try. Let me show you it actually right now. Oh, this one's not open. Let me open one. And I just opened this together. Okay, so it's a full 2 ounces, which is very rare. I wanted to make sure we had the tint in there, which actually boosts the protection for your skin for blue light, and especially if you're prone to pigmentation. So it's so lightweight and it just blends into the skin. So good to use around the eyes again. Sunglasses are a great tool to protect the skin, but we need to also be utilizing our SPF. So that's it. It's so easy to put on. It blends in very well. I'm like a Fitzpatrick 1-2, and we've had every Fitzpatrick type test our product. So there you go, guys. I hope that was useful. I hope you learned something new about sunscreen and how to support you or your child's skin this summer.